Good day. Battlefield Vietnam was the second game in the Battlefield series, although it wasn't given a 2, so therefore it's considered a spin-off. Now, while Battlefield 1942 was the genre maker as a whole for Battlefield-style games, Vietnam was really a spin-off maker for all of the various Vietnam spin-off games that we would come to see in later years. Now, this game uses an enhanced version of the Battlefield 1942 engine, and that means you've got slightly more enhanced gameplay and slightly better graphics. Really, the most notable aspect of this game is the soundtrack. You see, this uses a number of licensed songs from the 1960s. In fact, the game starts up with Fortunate Son, which is quite awesome to say the least. Now, the base gameplay is completely unchanged from 1942. Essentially, you capture control points in an attempt to make the enemy lose all of their tickets and thus lose the map. Now, the game has added a few new classes and has actually respec'd a few of the classes as well. The Heavy no longer is completely dependent upon a pistol, and instead actually gets a carbine, which is quite useful. You can also now set up a mortar, which is actually more useful than you might think because it can actually be used for anti-tank purposes. The game introduces helicopters and jet planes as well. The helicopters are okay. They're a little wonky to control with the keyboard and mouse and really require a joystick. In fact, unless you actually have significant practice with them, you're just going to crash a lot, or at the very least, you're not going to be able to hit anything. The jet planes, I feel, go a little too fast to be useful. I suppose, once again, it's probably one thing you have to practice, but still, they do go fast, and the maps are quite small. Really, you know what I use them for? Helo drops. I fly straight up, and then jump out, and then right before I hit the ground, activate the parachute. That was the same case in Battlefield 1942. Essentially, the parachute is magic. You can fall from 30,000 feet, and then when you're 10 feet before you hit the ground, activate the parachute, and then just land safely. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but damn is it fun. Battlefield Vietnam has some fairly decent maps. Fairly decent. There's not many, and in fact, it has very few maps when compared to 1942, and they're not really all that varied. But many mods actually rectify this. Now, my personal favorite map in this game is Operation Flaming Dart, but I prefer the modded one called Operation Flaming Dart 2, which actually adds an aircraft carrier. Really, Battlefield Vietnam was a decent successor to 1942. It could have used a few more maps, and the maps themselves could have been enhanced a little bit. But overall, it was a decent package. And so, this is John, signing off.